There is a strange pattern I have noticed among people who are genuinely trying to improve their health. They start adding chia seeds to their morning routine because they have heard about the fiber, the omega-3 fatty acids, and the antioxidants. They stir them into water, mix them into yogurt, or sprinkle them over meals. Yet weeks go by and they do not feel any different. Their inflammation markers do not change. Their belly swelling does not go down. Their joints still ache. And they begin to wonder if chia seeds are overrated. But here is the surprising truth. Chia seeds are not the problem. The real issue is that chia seeds alone do not activate the anti-inflammatory cascade inside your body. They need a partner. They need a companion nutrient that unlocks their full metabolic power. Without it, chia seeds behave like a car sitting in your driveway with a full tank of gas, but no key in the ignition. Everything needed is there, but nothing turns on. Let me explain why this matters. Chronic inflammation is not just a background nuisance. It is the driving force behind weight gain, slowed metabolism, insulin resistance, hormonal imbalance, and accelerated aging. Inflammation is the silent signal that tells your body to hold on to fat, to slow down energy production, and to protect rather than rejuvenate. When you fix inflammation, everything else becomes easier. Your metabolism works with you instead of against you. Your hunger hormones normalize. Your brain fog clears. Your recovery improves. So the question becomes, what is really going on inside your body when you eat chia seeds? And why do they fall short if they are not paired correctly? The answer lies in how your body converts plant omega-3 fatty acids, how your liver processes inflammatory molecules, and how your intestinal lining responds to certain nutrient combinations. Think of your body like a three-step metabolic relay race. Chia seeds are only the first runner. They hand off the baton, but if the second runner is missing, the race cannot continue. In a moment, we will break down the 6 key physiological principles behind this. You will see why most people use chia seeds incorrectly, why inflammation stays high, and what the research shows about pairing specific foods to unlock powerful anti-inflammatory effects. And I want you to stay with me because by the time we finish, you will know exactly how to turn chia seeds from a passive superfood into an active tool for lowering inflammation, calming your metabolism, and supporting long-term healthy aging. This is not about trends. This is about understanding how your body actually works. Here is what is really happening inside your body when you eat chia seeds and expect them to lower inflammation. On the surface, chia seeds look like an ideal anti-inflammatory food. They contain fiber, antioxidants, and plant-based omega-3 fatty acids known as alpha-linolenic acid. The challenge is that alpha-linolenic acid is only the raw material. Your body must convert it into the active forms that actually calm inflammation. These active forms are substances your cells use to repair membranes, quiet inflammatory signals, and support the healing process. Without this conversion, chia seeds remain nutritionally valuable but metabolically quiet. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine you have a workshop filled with excellent raw materials. Wood, metal, and tools are all present. But unless there is a skilled craftsman working in the shop, nothing gets built. Alpha-linolenic acid is the raw wood. The craftsman is the enzyme system inside your body that transforms the raw material into something useful. The issue is that these enzymes do not operate efficiently on their own. They require a partner nutrient to activate them so they can convert the plant-based omega-3 fatty acids into their powerful anti-inflammatory forms. What research shows is that this enzyme system is easily overwhelmed by modern metabolic stress. When inflammation is already elevated due to stress hormones from poor sleep, insulin fluctuations from dietary imbalance, or oxidative load from environmental exposure, the enzymes responsible for omega-3 conversion slow down. They are present, but their activity drops. and the plant-based omega-3 fatty acids pass through the system without triggering the deep cellular changes people hope for. There is a second layer to this. Your liver plays a central role in determining whether chia seeds actually shift your inflammatory state. When the liver is under pressure, whether from excess metabolic byproducts or persistent stress hormones, it prioritizes protective tasks instead of anti-inflammatory processing. Think of your liver like an airport control tower. When traffic is light, it can direct every plane smoothly, ensuring that every route is optimized. But when the airport becomes overcrowded, the priority is no longer smooth operation. The priority becomes avoiding disaster. In that scenario, tasks that would normally enhance repair and reduce inflammation are placed on hold. This is why so many people feel confused. They add chia seeds with the expectation of experiencing less inflammation, more energy, and greater metabolic stability. But the nutrients cannot express their full potential because the internal systems required to activate them are not ready. Without the companion nutrient that stimulates these enzyme pathways, chia seeds offer only partial benefits. They do not become harmful, but they remain underutilized. Here is the part that surprises many people. Your gut lining also plays a decisive role. When inflammation is high, the gut lining becomes overly sensitive. It still responds to fiber and hydration from chia seeds, but the deeper anti-inflammatory signal that normally arises from the fermentation of chia seed compounds requires additional internal support. Without the nutrient partner that enhances this microbial activity, the signal that tells the immune system to calm down never fully switches on. All of this leads us to the core insight. Chia seeds are not ineffective. They are incomplete. They are one half of a biological partnership. When your metabolism is already strained, the body cannot take the first half and complete the second half on its own. The real transformation happens only when the missing catalyst is present. That catalyst activates the enzyme system, supports the liver, and amplifies the gut-mediated anti-inflammatory response. It breathes life into the raw materials so your body can build something new. Now let us reveal the missing partner that turns chia seeds into a true anti-inflammatory tool. The catalyst your body needs is ground flaxseed. Not flax oil, not whole seeds, but freshly ground flaxseed. This is the nutrient that activates the metabolic machinery required to convert the plant-based omega-3 fatty acids from chia seeds into their active anti-inflammatory forms. Here is what is really going on inside your body. Chia seeds provide alpha-linolenic acid. Flaxseed also provides alpha-linolenic acid, but it adds something chia seeds do not offer in sufficient quantity: a concentrated profile of lignans. Lignans are plant compounds that stimulate the enzyme pathways responsible for converting alpha-linolenic acid into the highly active anti-inflammatory molecules your cells use to cool inflammation, stabilize membranes, and support repair inside your tissues. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine chia seeds bring the raw lumber to the construction site. Ground flaxseed brings the skilled carpenter. When you have lumber without a carpenter, nothing gets built. When you have a carpenter without raw material, there is nothing to work with. But when you bring them together, construction begins immediately. Inside your body, the construction project is the creation of active omega-3 molecules that your immune system uses to dial down inflammation. Research shows that combining two different plant-based omega-3 sources increases the conversion rate of alpha-linolenic acid by activating the enzymes in the liver and intestinal lining that control this transformation. These enzymes require both the raw material and the lignin activation signal. Chia seeds bring the material. Flaxseed brings the signal. There is another layer to this partnership. Ground flaxseed offers a different fiber profile than chia seeds. While chia seeds swell and form a gel that slows glucose absorption and hydrates the intestinal lining, flaxseed provides soluble fibers that act as fuel for beneficial gut microbes. When these microbes metabolize flax lignans, they produce metabolites that lower inflammatory signaling throughout the body. The combination of chia gel plus flax lignin fermentation creates a two-stage gut-mediated anti-inflammatory response that neither food can generate alone. The liver benefits as well. Ground flaxseed increases the activity of specific detoxification pathways that control oxidative stress. When these pathways are supported, the liver can redirect its energy toward converting omega-3 fatty acids and managing inflammatory molecules rather than simply reacting to metabolic overload. Think of it like easing the airport traffic so the control tower can return to optimizing every route instead of just preventing collision. This is why so many people find that chia seeds alone feel flat, but the moment they add flaxseed, something changes. Energy improves, bloating diminishes, joint stiffness eases. The body begins to feel calmer from the inside out, because the nutrients are finally being used in the way nature intended, through an activated, fully supported enzymatic chain. Now that you understand why chia seeds require ground flaxseed to activate their deepest anti-inflammatory potential, let us look at what is happening inside your body when you combine them. What research shows is that the moment these two seeds enter your digestive system together, they begin working in a synchronized pattern that affects inflammation across multiple organs, especially the gut, the liver, and your metabolic tissues. Here is what is really going on inside your body. When chia seeds absorb water, they form a gel that slows digestion and stabilizes blood glucose. This gel does something important. It creates a controlled environment in your gut where nutrients move more steadily, giving your enzyme systems more time to process them. This is essential because rushed digestion often leads to spikes in inflammatory signaling. The gel reduces that stress, almost like placing a quiet buffer between your gut and your bloodstream. Ground flaxseed enters the story differently. It does not form the same gel. Instead, its soluble fibers break down into prebiotic compounds that feed specific microbes responsible for producing short-chain fatty acids. These short-chain fatty acids calm the immune system, strengthen the gut lining, and directly reduce inflammatory cytokines. When chia seeds and flaxseed are paired, the gel from chia helps slow the release of flax compounds, giving the microbes more sustained access to their fuel. It is a coordinated system, a two-part mechanism designed to reduce inflammatory signaling more effectively than either seed can alone. Imagine this like a two-step whiteboard drawing. First, a wide horizontal line represents the chia gel layer forming a protective boundary in the gut. Then, beneath it, small circles represent the flax fibers that begin fermenting. As they ferment, arrows rise upward, symbolizing the anti-inflammatory metabolites that pass into circulation. When the gel and the fermentation combine, the arrows lengthen. The signal becomes stronger. The anti-inflammatory effect becomes deeper and more sustained. Your liver is also directly influenced by this partnership. The omega-3 conversion enzymes in the liver respond strongly to lignins from ground flaxseed. Chia seeds provide the raw omega-3 precursors. When both arrive together, the liver receives both the building blocks and the activation compounds at the same time. This is what allows the creation of the powerful molecules that calm inflammation throughout the body. Without flaxseed, that conversion is minimal. Without chia seeds, there is nothing to convert. Together, the liver gains the inputs it needs to reduce inflammatory load more efficiently. Another important layer is hormone regulation. Chronic inflammation often results from a combination of elevated cortisol, impaired insulin sensitivity, and disrupted satiety signaling. The combination of chia and flax affects these systems by stabilizing blood glucose, supporting gut hormone release, and reducing the inflammatory burden that drives hormonal imbalance. As these hormones normalize, the body shifts from a protective, fat-storing mode to a more balanced state where energy, metabolism, and recovery improve. All of this points to a simple conclusion. Chia seeds are not meant to work alone. They are the first half of a metabolic equation. Ground flaxseed completes the equation. It is the catalyst that helps your body convert nutrients into the molecules that calm inflammation. When people finally combine them, the shift they feel is not subtle. It is the body finally receiving the support it has needed to lower inflammatory signals, restore metabolic rhythm, and begin moving toward long-term health and vitality. If this is helping you understand what your body needs to heal from the inside out, consider subscribing. I share new, science-based insights every day to help you take control of your metabolism naturally. At this point, you understand that chia seeds and ground flaxseed work together through multiple biological systems. Now, let us look deeper at why this combination creates a far more powerful anti-inflammatory effect than people expect. The key is that the body does not rely on a single pathway to control inflammation. It uses networks, loops, and interconnected systems. When one pathway improves, others begin to improve as well. The chia and flax partnership influences several of these networks at once, which is why the results feel more complete. Here is what is really going on inside your body. Inflammation is not only a problem of the immune system, it is also a problem of cellular communication. When cells become stressed by poor sleep, unstable glucose, or oxidative load, they begin sending out distress signals. These signals spread through the bloodstream like messages of alarm. If the alarm continues, your body shifts into a long-term protective mode. That mode slows metabolism, increases fat storage, tightens blood vessels, heightens cortisol, and makes it harder for your tissues to repair. Chia and flax work together to interrupt that alarm cycle. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Picture your body as a neighborhood where every house represents a cell. When one house catches fire, an alarm sounds. If the fire spreads, more alarms go off. Soon the entire neighborhood feels unstable. Inflammation works in a similar way. The combination of chia and flax acts like a two-part fire control system. One part cools the flames, and the other part stops the alarms from spreading. The chia gel calms the initial irritation in the gut. The flax lignans affect the deeper inflammatory messengers. Together, they help restore calm throughout the entire neighborhood. Research shows that certain metabolites produced when flax lignans are broken down act directly on receptors inside immune cells. These receptors regulate how strongly the immune system reacts. When those receptors are calmed, the inflammation signal becomes more measured instead of exaggerated. At the same time, the active omega-3 molecules created from the chia and flax combination enter the cell membranes and influence how flexible those membranes are. Flexible membranes improve communication between cells. When communication improves, fewer inflammatory alarms are triggered unnecessarily. There is another piece of this that often gets overlooked. Your nervous system is deeply involved in inflammatory control. When the gut is irritated, the nerves in the digestive tract send stress signals to the brain. Those signals trigger a sympathetic response, raising cortisol and amplifying inflammatory hormones. The chia and flax pairing supports a calmer gut environment, which reduces the frequency of those stress signals. When the gut feels safe, the nervous system withdraws from its high alert posture, and inflammation naturally drops. The liver also experiences this calming effect. When the liver receives consistent signals of stress from the gut or from circulating inflammatory molecules, it shifts toward defensive operations. It prioritizes survival over optimization. The steady, balanced influence of chia and flax allows the liver to return to a more efficient state, where it can process nutrients, manage hormones, and reduce oxidative load more effectively. When the liver relaxes, the rest of the body follows. It is this multi-layered influence that explains why the combination of chia and flax feels powerful in a way that chia alone never can. You are not simply adding nutrients. You are introducing a coordinated system that supports cellular communication, gut-mediated regulation, liver function, and immune balance. It is the synergy that matters. The body is built to respond to nutrient combinations, not isolated ingredients. When you provide the correct pairing, the internal systems designed to reduce inflammation finally begin working as intended. Now, let us look even deeper at why chia seeds and ground flaxseed together influence inflammation not only in the gut and liver, but throughout the entire metabolic network. This is where the conversation shifts from nutrients to cellular behavior. What most people do not realize is that inflammation is often driven by a mismatch between what the body is trying to repair and the resources available to support that repair. When the body senses that the materials are incomplete, it stays in a defensive state. The chia and flax combination provides completeness. That completeness is what allows the body to leave defense mode and enter repair mode. Here is what is really going on inside your body. Every single day, your cells experience microscopic injuries. These injuries come from oxidative stress, internal metabolic reactions, and normal wear. Under ideal conditions, your cells repair these micro-injuries quickly and quietly. But when inflammation is present, the repair process slows down. The body becomes stuck in a cycle where damage is detected, the immune system is activated, but the nutrients required for full repair are partial or missing. Chia provides valuable fats and antioxidants, but without the lignans and enzyme activators from flaxseed, the repair cycle remains incomplete. The inflammation signal continues. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine a road crew repairing potholes on a busy street. If they have asphalt but no binding material, they can fill the holes temporarily, but the repair does not hold. Rain, pressure, and traffic will break the patch apart, and the pothole will return. That is what happens inside your cells when chia seeds are used alone. The raw material is available, but the binding agents that solidify the repair are too weak. When you add ground flaxseed, you provide the binding ingredients. Suddenly, the repair becomes stable. The pothole does not return. The cell does not send out another inflammatory alarm. There is also an important interaction with insulin that many people overlook. Chronic inflammation reduces insulin sensitivity, which means the body requires more insulin to move glucose into the cells. High insulin drives fat storage, slows fat burning, and increases cortisol. Chia helps stabilize glucose release, but flaxseed influences how the cells respond to insulin. The lignans from flaxseed interact with receptors that support improved insulin sensitivity. When you combine chia and flax, you are reducing both the cause of the glucose swings and the cellular resistance to insulin. As these two mechanisms shift, your metabolic balance improves and the inflammatory burden drops. Another key relationship exists with the microbiome. Your gut microbes constantly communicate with your immune system. When the microbes are well fed and diverse, they produce metabolites that reduce inflammation and support metabolic flexibility. When they are underfed or imbalanced, they produce compounds that increase inflammatory signaling. Chia seeds provide hydration and gel formation, which soothe the gut lining. Flaxseed provides fermentable fibers that feed beneficial microbes. The partnership nourishes the microbiome in two different ways at once. The result is a stronger gut barrier, fewer inflammatory signals entering the bloodstream, and a calmer immune response overall. This dual nourishment is powerful. Think of it like restoring both the soil and the plant at the same time. Chia improves the environment, flax feeds the organisms living in that environment. When both are supported, the entire ecosystem becomes healthier and inflammation naturally decreases. Finally, let us look at how this combination affects the deeper layers of cellular energy. Inflammation interferes with mitochondrial function. When mitochondria slow down, energy drops, fatigue increases, and metabolic flexibility fades. The active omega-3 molecules created from the chia and flax combination help stabilize mitochondrial membranes and reduce oxidative stress. This improves the efficiency of energy production and lowers the need for inflammatory compensation. As energy rises, the body no longer needs to stay in a defensive mode. All of these layers demonstrate the same truth. Your body does not heal from a single angle. It heals through coordinated support. Chia seeds bring one half of that support. Ground flaxseed brings the other half. Together, they create a biological environment where inflammation does not dominate, where metabolism functions smoothly, and where the body can return to its natural rhythm of repair and renewal. Now let us bring all the physiology together and examine why the chia and ground flaxseed combination does more than reduce inflammation. It actually shifts your entire internal environment toward restoration, balance, and long-term metabolic resilience. This is the part that most people never hear, yet it is the key to why this pairing feels so different inside the body. Chia and flax do not act like isolated anti-inflammatory agents. They act like a coordinated system that rewires how your cells communicate, how your organs respond, and how your metabolism regulates itself day after day. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body as a symphony. When all the instruments are in tune, the music flows beautifully. But if one instrument falls out of tune, the rest begin to compensate, creating disharmony. Inflammation is that disharmony. It begins in one section, then spreads through the entire orchestra. The combination of chia and flax works like a skilled conductor who brings each section back into tune. Chia calms the gut. Flax activates the liver enzymes. Chia stabilizes glucose. Flax supports hormone receptors. Together, they bring the entire metabolic orchestra back into harmony. Research shows that lignans from flaxseed interact with receptors that control how strongly immune cells react to stress. At the same time, the active omega-3 molecules created from the combined seeds enter cell membranes and influence how cells respond to inflammatory triggers. This means the body is not simply reacting less, it is becoming more resilient. It is responding with balance rather than urgency. This shift toward resilience is what lowers the long-term inflammatory load more effectively than any single food on its own. There is also an important interaction with stress hormones. When inflammation is high, cortisol rises to try to control it. High cortisol increases cravings, slows fat burning, and disrupts sleep. The chia and flax pairing supports the gut and liver in ways that reduce the need for elevated cortisol. As cortisol normalizes, metabolic processes become more efficient. The body no longer feels the need to store fat protectively. Energy production increases. Recovery improves. This alone has a measurable impact on how people feel day to day. Another crucial dimension is vascular health. Inflammation stiffens blood vessels, reduces circulation, and limits the delivery of nutrients to tissues. The active omega-3 molecules produced from chia and flax improve endothelial function, helping blood vessels relax and transport nutrients more effectively. Better circulation means that healing compounds reach tissues faster, metabolic waste clears more efficiently, and the body remains in a lower stress state. Finally, the combination influences longevity pathways. Inflammation accelerates aging by damaging mitochondria, shortening telomeres, and increasing oxidative stress. The antioxidants from chia and the lignans from flaxseed reduce this oxidative burden, while the converted omega-3 molecules protect the cellular structures that control aging. This does not mean instant transformation. It means long-term support for the systems that determine how quickly or slowly your body wears down. So here is your invitation. Try choosing even one shift in how you support your biology today. Notice how your body responds over time. Inflammation does not fall in a single moment. It falls as your cells receive consistent support and your internal systems move back toward alignment. If this conversation helped you understand your body on a deeper level, consider liking the video and subscribing to join others who are learning how to optimize their health through thoughtful, science-based choices delivered with clarity and calm.